Hey, how we doing? Happy Sunday, everyone. How is everyone getting on? Welcome. White Trash, Liam. Don't forget to hit the like on the way in, people. Help us out. Who else we got in here? Samal, how you doing, buddy? Dassery's here. Dr. Loot. Welcome. Skullman. Wayne Evans, how's things, buddy? Wicked. How we doing? What's up? How's the fusion going for everyone? We're going to get, by the way, we're getting MulletReaver on in a second. Just waiting for the stream to warm up a minute. How's the fusion going for you people? Are you in the mix? Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the grind? Do you feel like Lady H? Or actually you enjoying the game? Where you at? Don't give out likes for nothing. Impress me first. Damn it! I've got no chance. If that's the way you're playing it, I've got no chance. Like clockwork, but I'm broke. Doing well. Good stuff, man. Hey from Nambia. Nice. Welcome. Need 2 more epics. Cool. Feels like quite a lot of people are on track this time around. I feel like the schedule's been okay, hasn't it? A couple of tough points, but pretty much it's been like reasonable. Yeah, not been too crazy. Champion Chase generally is going to be the hard point, right? Animal B with the super chat. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Happy Sunday, HH. Glad to be here. Welcome. Pleased you're here, mate. Thank you. Don't forget, if you haven't done so, come and join the Fateless Discord. It's in the pinned chat. We're trying to top that Discord up, get some more Fateless hype. Help us out, help us grow, help us get the IP we want, like, nailed down. That's what we need. We need your help. Appreciate everyone joining. Dave Smith got 14 sacreds for CC, Champion Chase, on the free-to-play. Damn, nice, mate. I think I've got 7 or maybe 6 or 7. So I'm pretty confident on the Champion Chase. I think my free-to-play has got it nailed as long as I'm active, you know? Are we doing viewer shard pools Friday? I'm not sure, Darren. Trouble is, right, so I've basically been in this two-week like schedule of having tons of investor meetings, right, for Fateless. So we're getting investment in so that we can then press on, right? So we've got a certain figure we need to hit. We've got a bunch of people that we're interested in investing. Quite a lot of them are American, which means that my calendar, my diary is filling up. So like Friday just gone, I had back-to-back 4 investment calls right when I would normally stream. And I know that I've already got 1 in for this Friday. So I don't know is the honest answer. I'd like to stream. Depends how I can move my diary around. But yeah, some stuff I've just got to kind of nail down over these next 2 weeks so that we can move the Fateless project on, you know? Some of this stuff is just like, we have to do it right now. Do you have any open spots in your clan? I don't run a clan, White Trash, and honestly, I don't know the answer. Not sure. But if you're like, so if you mean my main account, White Trash, then you can apply, but you need to be like a decent level plat player type of play, you know? That's basically what they're about. Somehow I got in. Where do we find info for investor? If you want info, Carlos, just message. I'll put it in chat here. I'm not really allowed to talk about it, so that's as much as I'm going to say. Just email this email if you've got any interest, and you'll get a load of info back. So, I guess let's see if MulletReaver is ready, and we can get on and talk about this kind of like new world record effort or attempt that MulletReaver is doing for Clan Boss. And honestly, like, I thought this was a dead conversation. I thought it was done and dusted, but apparently not. So I'm interested to see where it's gone since I last spoke to him and spoke to Victor Tez, honestly. So we're going to try and get MulletReaver onto chat now. I guess I'm just going to kill the music. Apologies for that. But we're going to have MulletReaver coming in. Dude, how you doing? Do you hear me? I can't hear you. You can't hear me. It's not a good start, but now I can hear you. Good,
how
good
we
stuff.
doing now?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Let me see. Right, firstly, I'm just going to grab you onto stream. I'll share my screen with you as well. See, I've got my concentrating face on right now. Okay, let's share my screen. Okay, we good?
I think we're good.
Chat, can you hear Mr. MulletReaver here? Are you hearing him? Is he coming through?
Hello, hello.
Awesome, awesome. I think that should be good. So, dude, it's been a while.
Yeah.
How are you keeping? How's things?
Things are good. Things are good. Still rocking and rolling. We got a YouTube channel up and running. We made a partner a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice. Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Still just like focused on raid?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just all raid
nice.
so far.
Or perhaps if you've got my stream up as well, ping your YouTube channel in the stream, and we'll let people come and find you as well. That'd be good. So, do you tend to focus on? I guess before we get into all that, quick intro for people that don't know you. You know, how long you've been on the scene in terms of raid. You know, what do you enjoy about the game? What brought you to the game? A few of those type of things about yourself, you know.
Yeah. I've been playing raid for 3.5 years now. Somewhere around in there. Basically got on the scene from Clan Boss. So, December last year or so, after they added empowerment, I ended up. I was on a search for my clan because my clan is a bunch of free-to-play friends.
Okay, nice.
And we were struggling to down Ultra Nightmare, Clan Boss, and things like that. So,
yeah.
I am not free-to-play. I will never claim to be. I do have free-to-play accounts, but not my main. So I was on a mission to get the best Clan Boss team I could make in order to help my team down Ultra Nightmare every day. So I built a bunch of different clans. I built the Pavo team with Valkyrie and Lydia and all that.
Sure. One of the early teams that was able to really do some work, right?
Yeah, it was 300 million, somewhere around in there. And then I came across the Infinity team, actually from I think you had
Sharky,
Victor on way back.
I had Sharky on first, who I don't know if Sharky was one of the first or not, honestly. I think he was, but we then had Victor Tez on, and Victor kind of taking it to a whole new level. And yeah, that was crazy, honestly. To me, I was just kind of like, what is going on? You got this team with 2 rares. I was actually looking at my YouTube channel. So I was trying to work out, when did I first kind of put something out about this world record team? I don't know exactly when it is, because it just goes from 1 year to 2 year at this point. But it was quite a while back. And we were talking about a team that could do... let me just see. What did we end up doing on this? Does it tell me exactly when I posted it? No, it doesn't. I'm just wondering how much damage we did when we did this video. Because it was a long time ago. Yeah, so we were doing 560 live on stream, and I think perhaps he'd hit for more than that at the time, but still, it was a crazy amount of damage at the time, you know?
Yeah, whatever. I ended up taking it over. It was 735 million or so, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I built it, and then over Christmas, I ended up pulling 2 or 3 Brognies at the time.
Sure.
And allowed me to make a +4. Right, so first time trying it with a +4 Brognie, I ended up doing 736. So I just out of the blue, nowhere, took the record by a little bit.
So I guess it's worth saying, the original one that I was showing there from my YouTube channel, I think that was before empowerment, before item ascension, before the additional bonuses you now get on area bonuses. Have you done? Oh, you actually haven't done any there. Okay.
No, that's actually.
I thought that might be pumping stuff up.
Not yet.
What else is there?
Will.
Is there other stuff? I guess there was also faction guardians didn't exist. Like there's been a lot, hasn't there? In terms of power creep of potential damage before blessings as well, Rowena, correct? Like in a relatively short period of time, there's been a ton of damage boosting, right?
Oh yeah. Empowerments to faction guardians, ascensions, like, and every time that happens, the cap goes up, or as far as what you can just hit.
Yeah. So I guess I thought the cap was done. These conversations were dead. Right? I thought it was a case of we've hit the cap of what you can actually hit this boss for, and nothing is ever going to beat it. So, talk me through that. How's that not right?
Yeah, so as far as what we mean when we say the cap, so the actual damage counter, that yellow number on the screen in the corner that ticks up as the you start doing damage, that counter is what is capped at 2.147 billion. It's basically an integer data type, and that's the highest number that it can physically hold.
It can record,
so
right.
That counter in itself is what we're referring to as capped. So once that hits that number, it doesn't go any higher. It's just going to stay at that 2.147 billion. However, everybody has their own counters, the champions included. So whenever you see the total screen, you see the result. That's the counter itself. But then all of the individual champions have their own damage cap. And I actually had originally thought that the individual champions would be capped as well. So when we were talking about pushing like collective damage, that I thought Corp was going to end up capping out at the 2.147 billion as well, and then it might be a couple hundred more, but nothing too important. But turns out it's not, and in fact only the clan boss counter is the one that's capped at the integer data type. Like Hydra is not, the individual champions are not, nothing else is. So it's the only one that's
interesting. So you're still able then to see all of the damage growing, but just not on the screen at the time. So you basically have to wait until the end of the run. Is that what you're saying? Before you actually know what the damage has become? For
the total, yeah. So we can still track as far as how fast we're getting to that cap. So that's one of the things. So now with like RSL leaderboards run by Sam Solstice, basically we were using the damage cap, the 2.147 billion, as the benchmark. Sure. And then it's the number of turns in order to get to that, and then the total damage calculated at the end.
Okay, got it. Interesting. All right. Well, let's check out the team then, I guess. And it has changed since I did that original video. Things have evolved a bit, and it's now become, I'd say, like when I did the video, it was like great thumbnail because it was like 2 rares. It's just kind of, it like stood out as this is insane. It's still completely insane, by the way, but probably it's got a bit more trackinified, right? We're kind of like moved it up a bunch in terms of required spend level, I'd say.
Yes. So basically it's the Yumeko version. So the traditional one uses Lanicus, uses Hellborn as far as to get that damage up there. But now with Yumeko coming out, basically Yumeko teams dominate pretty much every aspect of the game. And then Victor was actually the first one to make this version of this team.
Sure.
It's a different tune than what I'm using. And in fact, DWJ made a version of his own as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the Yumeko. So with Yumekos, because they can just reset each other, basically they do their A3 and then they have to take an A1, or they have to take 1 turn before they can do their A3 again, because it only reduces it by 3. They can literally alternate each other. So as long as all of the champs go in between them, they're just constantly doing whatever skill they need to do in order to make
I've not seen the Yumeko runs ever. I've not watched one in live in action. So are we basically seeing here Brogni just constantly A2ing? Is that all he does?
Every turn.
Man, that's so nuts. That's actually so nuts.
And then Chris also does his A3 every turn. Or I'm sorry, his A2 every turn. So he is just the one extending the buffs. And so instead of having 3 champions to extend buffs on a 3-turn cooldown, we have one champion on a 1-turn cooldown.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Makes sense. Crazy. Okay. Well, let's go through some builds then. Let's look at this kind of top tiered. And I guess before we do that, is there any other champions other than like the old school Lanarkis, Hellborn type team? Is there anyone else that now plays at this top level, or is it basically if you don't have double Yumeko, then you're not playing at this level?
It's the Yumeko team that's going to beat the cap. I actually do want to try the traditional team to see if I can reach the cap, because I hit 2 billion damage with the traditional team.
Oh, did you? Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I want to see if we can hit the cap. It's not going to get 3 billion damage with the traditional team, but I think we could hit the cap with it for sure.
And I guess it won't be massively different, because most of the damage here comes from Brogni, right? Pretty much, if Brogni's got the best build in the game, then that's all you really need. But I guess even having some blessings on Yumeko's and stuff like that will improve it. Probably just not that much, right?
Yeah, you're going to get a little bit. Like at the end, I think the Yumeko's put up like 20 million damage. Krisk, actually, with this build now, with the change in Retaliation, I actually changed Krisk back to a Guardian set, so now he puts up less damage. He wasn't Toxic. Right. So he puts up actually like 10 or 12 million less, but it's pennies in comparison to what Corpulent puts up.
Yeah. So let's go through the team then. So, and I guess talk me through why the particular builds and why the particular masteries. I know that was always one of the big things when we were walking through it before. Is like different mastery sets. Maybe it doesn't play as much of a factor anymore, but certainly it played a big factor back in the day. So I guess I've got Yumeko 1. Up.
Actually, no, you don't.
Oh, do I not? How many Yumekos have you got, dude?
I went with Yumeko lists until about February of this year.
Right, okay.
And then within, I think, 2 months, I pulled 4 of them.
Right.
So that's Yumeko.
That's one of the Yumekos. Hold on a second. I've only seen one person who is like into the next level.
I'm not in the next.
Oh, you're not. It's back down. How have you just got super lucky then? Because that is.
I swear. Like the second Yumeko, the one that I got in order to do this, was like a birthday present. I was coming home from a birthday trip. We went to Vegas for a week.
Yeah.
And it was a 10x Yumeko, and I had like, I think 20 void shards. And I was fresh off of Mercy, and I pulled them on the ride home and ended up getting the Yumeko.
Insane.
And then within another like 2 weeks, I got another one, and then this past 2x, I pulled the fourth one.
Wow, so lucky, man. Okay, cool. So first one then, Guardian set, Retaliation, like accessories or Revenge accessories. Sorry.
Yeah,
we're looking at what, a 296 speed. What's the deal? What are you looking for here in this build?
So mainly with this, we do need a little bit of accuracy in order for her to land the Brimstone. She's the one with the Brimstone on the team.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just the right speed. This tune actually is the exact same one I used on the traditional team. And if you remember from your video with Victor, you have to actually set it up to where Krisk fills up his buff bar in order to prevent him getting the the increased defense, so that he stays the stun target.
Yes.
And this was the tune that did it. So you had a really fast. She actually replaced Hellborn. So you had a really fast Hellborn in order to get that tune correctly. And this is just straight swapped. So my 2 Yumekos straight swap for the Hellborn and the Lanarkis.
So if you don't have the Yumekos and you're trying to build the old school team, the speeds we're seeing here, this would be a Hellborn speed, and then the second Yumeko would be the Lanarkis speed.
Yeah, and this also allows that the delay of Krisk's A3 in order to make him the stun target again, which I was doing, but that was before the Retaliation change. So now we actually don't even need to do that, because we want Corpulent to be the stun target so that he can counterattack more.
Yeah. You're not interested, you don't care about counterattacking here with a Yumeko? Not really
Probably
in your...
could. I think 296 in Guardian and Retaliation
Pretty hard.
might be difficult.
Yeah, fair.
I didn't have a ton of Retaliation gear to start, so
No,
I
I've
had to
literally got
farm
like
some
6
for-
pieces at the moment. So, okay, and so interesting. So you've gone for the bulwark here. So this champion is literally there to keep the damage away from your corpulent cadaver, yeah?
Correct. Yeah, pretty much everybody's job is just to keep as much damage away from Corp as possible.
Yeah. Because I know that when I was looking at... I think when Victor was last min-maxing, he was playing around with, does he need this? Like trying to let people die a bit earlier and stuff like that. It was almost like the challenge had changed. Because they could hit cap, the challenge had changed to as much damage in a small period of time as possible and then letting people die off. But I guess because you can keep that Brogni shield going, that's not the case anymore. Are you trying to keep everyone alive?
Yeah, it's actually prior to hitting the cap. So with the traditional team, basically you are stacking the buffs stacking the amount of buffs on everybody. So you're getting 30 to 40 stacks on each buff for everybody, which stops it from needing to have that 3-turn rotation for the cooldown extenders.
Right.
So with that, once you get them enough stacks, you can start killing them off in periodic order
So
in
you just
order
get
to
more
allow
hits from
corpulent.
corpulent cadaver in effect, because you're only allowed
Right.
so many hits. Yeah.
Yeah, in the case of the Yumeko team with Brogni doing his A2, it is impossible to kill anybody off early. They don't even go through the first shield, let alone come anywhere close to dying.
Oh, okay, interesting, yeah. So that's number 1. Then number 2 is this one again without all masteries or not?
Yep, that's the one.
So this one does have War Master, so you're trying to get a bit more damage out of this one. And shield set to give you the initial shield.
Yeah, she's given the second shield to Corpulent. Again, we don't go through even the first shield, but Corpulent does still need 2 shields just because that's double damage from his A1.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And then, so this one's probably in a bit more of a damage build slightly, a bit more crit damage and stuff, but ultimately no brimstone here, no other blessing that's going to give you any benefit here.
Yeah, it's whatever damage I could squeeze in there, getting her to the right speed.
Okay, sweet. So let's look at Chris then.
Krisk is the fully
I love this
ascended
new
one.
feature, by the way.
Oh
It's
yeah,
so
the filter
good.
is awesome.
Man, so good. Makes my job a lot easier. Oh, not if I mess it up, it doesn't. So Chris, still in the Guardian gear. So again, he's just reducing the damage that Corpulent takes. Got going on here. Massive defense. Basically, it's a damage build, right?
Yeah, again, right speed, and then enough accuracy so that he lands his decreased defense, and then just as much damage as we can put in him.
So you don't have a weaken anymore.
No.
Interesting. I guess
When you're
there's
doing
just
A2 the whole
champion that's
time.
you just can't. Yeah, you can't do it anyway. But yeah, interesting. Okay, so Chris is in Guardian set. Let's check out Brogni. So Brogni's the big deal, right? He's without
Brogni's the big boy.
Brogni, Corpulent Cadaver is a completely useless champion. Like no Brogni, Corpulent Cadaver may as well not exist. I tell you what, you and Victor give me real problems because I've got to try and grade these guys on a website. Yeah. Corpulent Cadaver is a trash champion, but he's also in a team that does like over 2 billion damage against the clan boss. How do you try and grade that?
I get people that ask me all the time. They're all like, "Oh, I got Corpulent. I'm gonna build him up real quick." I'm like, no.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Yeah.
Like, unless you're building this specific team, don't build it.
Yeah. Flipping X. So I haven't even noticed it, but this build, dude. What the hell is this build?
You like that?
439 crit damage. Wow, that's a silly number right there. I don't think I've ever seen a number that big on a build. And he's... Oh my god, that's absolutely absurd.
It's in lethal, too.
In lethal. Man, my lethal gear sucks. Wow, that is a crazy... And you've even got accuracy on him as well. I guess that's all being driven by the just extra stats that you get.
Yeah, actually ended up ascending his banner, and his banner rolled accuracy, so
Oh,
we
right.
got a little extra there.
Wow, so you must have crit damage with crit damage. Yes, this is the whole kind of new Ascension stuff coming out. I mean, what's your view on it? Just on the side here, like the stat bloke going on right now. Do you like it? Do you think it's more fun or? No?
I mean, in instances like this, it's fun. Other than that, I mean, it helps to build your champions a little bit better. It's easier to build the content, like the free-to-play accounts and things like that. Granted, we don't really get past, especially my free-to-play, so I started one just before the free-to-play challenge and stuff, so I just started at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And like the most I have is a single roll on anything just because I only do it to do the advanced quest.
Just for same, same on mine. By the way, on your channel, do you do much like free-to-play type of stuff as well, or do you tend to keep it quite in-game?
I do put videos out on my free-to-play account. Like we just got it up to Ultra Nightmare in order to prepare for the Nuke Fusion and things like that.
Yeah.
They don't tend to do as well for me, but I try to keep them in there.
Yeah. Okay. But actually, I mean, considering this has just come out, this dungeon, you've managed to land some pretty cool stuff here. A nice crit damage roll on a piece that already had good attack. I guess you've lost, but you don't need it anymore. Like back in the day, we used to be looking for these refresh accessories on him, but he doesn't need that anymore because Yumeko's just like, do it again. Do it again.
Yep. Yeah, I don't need any refresh or anything like that, so it's pure damage.
This piece has rolled nice as well, right? You got the attack roll on a triple attack.
Yeah, that was actually one of the pieces that I still had on. So the amulet, I actually had to roll a couple of amulets to get the crit damage. So I lost about 12 attack on him from that one. But between the ring and the banner, they both rolled pretty well.
Okay, nice. And then, so let's check out the other pieces quick. So you actually haven't got attack percentage. There's room to grow.
Yeah, I still got to make my lethal gear from this past Doom Tower rotation.
But otherwise, I mean, but in fairness, like it's not like you're sitting here with a whole bunch of mythical pieces or, you know, all legendary pieces. There's room for more stats. It's just obviously these are great pieces. I mean, this piece, in effect, it's a good piece, but it's nothing obscene.
Oh, not fantastic. I mean, we got to roll just, on resistance. It doesn't help.
The obviously gaining the ascension is what's making this so crazy. It's helping making this build so crazy. But damn man, this build is nuts. I guess it's the the level of blessing. Is this actually this is a question for you. So is this something you just randomly got lucky and pulled, or have you been saving up, buying upgrade?
That was my first mission on Ascension was to get him 6-star. I pulled the very first day the Soulstones came out. I ended up pulling a 2-star for him, and then every other one I bought from there.
Right. So that's a grind. I mean, I've been doing that on a couple myself. I did it first on Seer, which obviously is an epic, is much easier. But I've started to do it on a couple of my arena champs, and I mean, it's even if you're super active, it takes so damn long.
Oh, yeah, right now I'm buying them for Jorgid. He's my current.
So Crushing Rend. I must admit, I didn't expect to see Crushing Rend here.
Oh yeah, that's another built-in Savage set.
I thought I was going to see the rare one, Soul Reap. Not Soul Reap. No, what's it called?
Phantom Touch.
Phantom Touch. Yeah, I thought I was going to see Phantom Touch.
We are purely so. One thing I was actually wrong about for a while was I thought all the ancillary damage went towards the shield growth, so like War Master procs. That's why I always said to use like Giant Slayer and things like that, which is wrong. Phantom Touch, all that stuff does not apply to the shield growth. So only the actual damage of the A2 does. So that's pure focus, is just the actual damage of his A2.
So where he's ignoring percentage of health, percentage of defense, obviously that still does go towards, because his A2 is just hitting harder, right? So that does go towards it, but in a different way.
Yeah.
But obviously all of the stats here are just perfect for Brogni as well. Crit damage, attack, getting more speed in here. So the blessing,
and we had more stat bloat whenever they updated the stats that you get from that.
Yes.
So he got
more stats. Yeah, for sure. And for those who don't know with this comp, so the idea here, Brogni applies, or I guess you don't even need the Brogni shield, do you? But there's shields on your team, which Brogni is going to increase the value of with his A2. The harder he hits, the more of a shield gain you get. That's the vibe. And then we step up with the rare. And again, don't build this rare unless you are an end game, like high, not necessarily high spender, but you've got to have all of these components to make this team work. Otherwise, it's a pointless champion to you. But this boy here, Corpulent Cadaver, steps up to be the most obscene champion in the game. And I'm seeing already, without seeing the gear, the triple retaliation, which is cool. Okay. So you're doing faultless defense here, basically just reducing his damage per hit.
Yeah, just trying to keep as much damage away from him as possible.
Yeah. And masteries on him, you've got War Master just for more damage, but I guess that's a drop in the ocean compared to what he does, but still it's extra damage.
Right. Yeah, he's the one taking the most attacks. So
yeah, I didn't check your masteries on Brogni. Let's just go back to that. Okay. So War Master and Giant Slayer, they're out the window. You're just pushing more crit damage.
Yep.
Again, did not expect to see that. Did not expect to see that. Because you're purely just trying to get as much shield growth as you can all the time. Okay, this is, I mean, what's cool here is so different from when I last saw this team. Like it's evolved and changed so much. So we had the gear change into with the retaliation stuff, which I'm guessing is going to make quite a difference to you here.
Yeah, so we actually went up. Prior to this, he was actually wearing single Defiant and then the 4-piece retaliation, which was, what, 35%?
Right. Yeah.
So whenever they made the change, I never changed him originally. So he actually lost 5% chance to counterattack. And then I farmed some more retaliations to get him in a decent enough build.
Yeah.
So we were able to get him in 3.
And it's worth saying to people, so the revenge stuff, it doesn't add to retaliation. It's like 2 separate chances to proc or a counterattack. You can't counterattack twice, but you either counterattack with one or the other or not at all. But obviously you're just giving yourself as much chance as possible to get a counterattack away, yeah?
Right, yeah, and it's also per hit. So first AoE is 2 hits, second AoE is 4 hits. Obviously the stun hit is a single hit. But you're going to roll the 45% chance from the retaliation. If that doesn't land, then the 15%
So for every
chance
hit the clan
revenge.
boss comes at you with, you've got a chance to proc this. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Yeah, so pretty much every AoE is, I mean, you have to be unlucky in order to not counterattack. And then it's just a matter of how many times does he get it on the stun hit.
Yeah. A few people are asking about area bonuses. So at the moment, MulletReaver's not got any area bonuses for clan boss. So there's still stat gain to be had if he wants it at some point. But are you doing any live arena?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a main arena guy. However, I'm silver 4, so we've got enough to make this stream interesting. Okay,
interesting. All right, cool. Well, I guess something to call out here, because even though I've done this team, it still baffles me a bit. So your idea of this build is not to really give him any stats other than survivability, right? It's just as much damage reduction as you can get into his build.
Right. He's an HP champ, so HP and then crit rate will obviously increase his actual damage. However, 99% of his damage comes from the size of the shields, not from his regular hit. So just stack defense as much as possible.
Yeah, so this is what makes him so unique and also useless if he's not in this team. Is that he attacks an enemy, inflicts additional damage if this champion is under a shield buff, which is what Brogni is continuously extending, okay? Extending and enhancing. The damage is equal to 30% of the value of the shield. So as the shield grows in size, his hits just do more damage, which is kind of nutty. Like, just a quick thank you, Saint Kid. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. And for those who don't know, for those who joined a bit late, this is MulletReaver. He's kind of the king of Clan Boss. Basically, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this game as they add these new kind of features and stuff. So if you haven't already, go and drop him a sub on his YouTube channel. He's got a bunch of content going on there as well. Help the dude out. Help the dude out. So, okay. Anything I've missed before we go on to up in some area bonuses here?
No, that's the champs. I mean, I don't know if you want to. We can look at the tune later, but as far as the presets, they're pretty darn simple.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a sec. Okay.
But yeah, it's a nice, easy start on this one compared to the complicated ones you've had to do in the past.
Yeah, I think the last one I did with Victor Tez was just kind of like, wow, this is complex. I think we had to rerun it about 15 times or something. It was it was stressful. Yeah. So I guess then we're going to be pumping a bit more.
Yeah.
Because
let's do it.
Oh damn! Actually, you got loads. I didn't notice it the first time we came in here. So you got a bunch of upgradable stats here. I mean, are you thinking just pump it all into crit damage?
So I mean, we're gonna go big, right? We want attack, ignore defense, and crit damage.
So
all to level 6.
All to 6, yeah. Awesome stuff.
4,000 emblems per. We've got 12,000 emblems.
Am I not ruining it by doing
attack, ignore defense? Oh, it doesn't matter. They're all the same.
I was hitting the silver one by mistake. Then I'm like,
oh yeah, you definitely want to use the bronze ones first.
I think we're good. I think we're okay. I was like, oh my god, I totally ruined it, but I think we're okay. Get rid of those bronze ones. Yeah, we're good. Because now it just costs the same anyway, doesn't it? Now we're going up to 6. Is your have you done any kind of numbers on this? Would the ignore defense, is it worth as much as like the crit damage or the attack or what have you like?
It's all extra.
Yeah. Just wondered if you've done any numbers like for example, we got 3 here. If we pushed another one into 7,
I don't have gold. I don't have gold medals.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So we'll get there eventually, but
yeah,
it's the best we can do for now.
Okay, so we've just added an extra 12% to attack. We were ignoring 12%. Is that what this means? We're ignoring 12% defense? Yes, it is. And then we've gained another 18% crit damage.
Yeah, so I want to see Brogny's build now.
Yeah, let's just check Brogny out again. Get me out of here. Man, this build was already disgusting. Brogny has now got 457 crit damage, 5663 attack, and he's ignoring another 12% defense.
Yeah, so with lethal, with crushing Ren, that's 50%. We've got another 12%, so that's 62. Then we've got Krisk reducing his defense by what's full cruelty? 20%?
Is it 30? I think it might be
30. One of those two. So Clan Boss basically has no defense left.
Yeah, the defense is out the window. No, it's 20. Sorry. Yeah, the guys are saying here maybe you should pump the rest into defense to mitigate more. Is that worth it?
It would help corpulent a little bit. I mean, we could if you really want to.
Yes, why not? Why not?
Yeah,
extra 4% defense. Okay, are we ready? Are we going for this?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
45 minutes.
Yeah, if anyone I don't know, maybe take this opportunity to get yourself a drink. Say goodnight to your kids or whatever, because this is going to take a while, but it's worth the watch, I'd say. So let's check out the setup then. I love the way you've just got a whole bunch of Infinity teams lining up.
Yeah, those are the standard, the traditional ones which we haven't used in a while.
Yeah, and obviously you've got this onto Spirit Affinity because it just makes Brogny more powerful today, right? So this is just the best possible scenario for us.
Right. Yeah, we only need 85% crit rate.
Yeah.
He does the extra damage because he's strong affinity.
So Krisk opens with his A3, never uses it again, and just spams A2 day long. Corpulent Cadaver, only use your A1. Such a weird champion, right? It literally doesn't use any of his skills, but becomes one of the most obscene champions in the game. Brogni opens with the A3 to get the shields up, and then it's just A2 for life. And then the Yumekos are basically just resetting everyone between themselves. They're A1 in or they're A3 in.
Right, yeah, they're just going to take turns. So one of them's going to reset the other one A1s, and then after everybody goes, then they do it in the reverse.
And this is full auto from the start. There's no...
Full auto from the start. Easy peasy.
Damn, that is music to my ears. And I assume... I know it is, but I'll just ask the question anyway for people that don't know. Totally affinity friendly everywhere. You can use the same team on any level, obviously, because you just could do so much damage. Like, even if it didn't work... It would do so much damage.
Before you go in, I just like the fact that if we go in the total damage screen or the clan damage screen, this is my little clan. So I popped in and just one shot at him.
Oh, you just come in for the one shot, ended it, and away you go. Yeah. Shall we do a poll? Yeah, I tell you what. So I'm gonna throw a poll out there. Some people would never have seen any of your stuff before. So let's do how much damage. Or maybe, like, I don't know the answer to this. So I know the sort of damage levels that you can get to, but what I don't know is how much damage can Corpulent Cadaver get to per hit? Like, what does he scale up to? I'm going to put that out as a poll. How much damage? What's max damage?
Do you want me to spoil it?
No. Because I don't know
what he's going to do on this one. I have a hope of what he's going to hit.
What's the max damage of Corpulent Cadaver? Oh, man, I don't even know where to put this, but I'm going to say...
On a single hit or just by himself?
For a single hit. Like, where does he get up to for a single hit? I'm going to say minimum's got to be 5. So we're going to go 5 to 7. Let's go 7 to 9. I'm probably undercooking this. What are people saying here? Like 17, really? Okay, let's go 9 to 15. I don't know where this could go. I never say 15 plus. Like, have a quick vote. How much damage for one A1 when he hits his peak do you think this dude is going to do? And as I say, I've literally got no idea on this. He's not crit capped, Niels. No, not crit capped. But that doesn't make a difference because his A1 literally just scales from the size of his shield. Okay.
So a crit hit adds about 30k.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's let this loose. So Krisk in the lead, mainly because you wanted him to be hit, right? For the decrease defense on?
Originally, I was delaying his A3 to make him the stun target. Now Corpulent's going to be the stun target, so the order doesn't actually really matter here. He's going to go for Corpulent. So Corpulent in the second position, but he could be in the first position.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter.
But again, there's no beneficial auras or anything for this team. It's literally just is what it is. Let's let it loose. Let's let it loose. I better put it on 2 times speed because we might be here a while. So the shields are both on. This is, I guess just talk people through what's going on here just quickly so that new people to this comp understand what's going on.
Yeah, so one of the Yumekos has a shield set on, so that's our set shield buff there. The Krisk is putting up increased speed on everybody else along with increased defense on himself. That increased speed, obviously, we need for the tune to work. Brogni on his initial hit, or in his initial turn, is putting up the block debuffs, as well as increased attack, so that he's doing some extra damage. Other than that, the Yumekos are just resetting each other, so you can see they take turns as far as which one does the reset and which one A1s. Krisk is just going to always do his A2 there, which is extending all the buffs that we now have so that they never fall off. Brogni, every time he takes his turn, that's his A2. 30% of the damage that he does is increasing the size of both of the shields on all of the champions, which makes a difference for Corpulent. So the bigger Corpulent shields are, the more damage he does. So you can see Brogni just hit for 375k on his A2.
Yeah. We saw a 400 just now as well. We had like a 420 already.
That's more than he's hit before.
Is it? Yeah. This could
I
get
think
silly.
390 was his cap before.
Right. Look at I mean, guys, look at this disgusting shield we've already got. And it's so early on.
One thing I was looking for was speed. One key, the fastest one key.
Oh,
It
yeah.
gets pretty quick.
What is the fastest? Is there like a world record for that as well in the?
There is. I'd have
Discord?
to look it up.
Yeah.
It's Arslan. I mean, he's got like all the records still.
Oh,
I think
right,
it was
okay.
like 2 or 3 minutes. The
Yeah.
fastest I've done it, I think, is like 6.5, but that was before all of this stuff.
Sure.
So my guess is we're gonna hit it somewhere around 5.5 minutes.
Yeah. Because he's already doing. Did he just do 740k already with that A1? Is that what I
Yeah,
just
not
saw?
quite at 1 million yet.
It's so damn quick. Like when I built this team, I think I might have hit for 400 million. I'm trying to remember now. Something like 400 million.
I think you're 465.
Was it? Yeah. And I think my corpulent only ever got somewhere like, I can't remember now. Maybe 2? I can't remember. Maybe 2 or 3 million. I can't remember. But it definitely was not scaling like this. That scaling is obscene.
Yeah, whenever I run the traditional one before got the Yumekos, I always track, the total scores and what corp's at and things like that. He would get to 1 million roughly around turn 27.
Sure.
He just hit 1 million on turn 9.
Oh, it's just come on so much. Like, it's almost ridiculous to see, Is there any? Do you think? I mean, what could happen? What could possibly happen to improve it in the future? If I can't see there being a better squad than what you've got here. So it would have to be a new champion situation, right?
Right, and it would either need to be besides like more stat bloat. But you would have to either get that weaken back in there. So if they came out with the legendary corpulent who did the shield damage and put up a weaken on his A1.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
or a Yumeko style with a weaken, I guess.
Could be Yumeko style with the weaken, yeah, as long as they can reset each other and that 5-turn cooldown.
Yeah. Do you honestly think it's safe to say that it pretty much feels like they weren't supposed to reset each other?
I think
because it's pretty gross, right? Kaimar doesn't reset Kaimar. Like I'm asking too many things, but back in the day, I didn't have 2 man-eaters, but I had 2 Kaimars, and I was trying to build my first ever unkillable team, doing one which didn't exist, right? I was like, I'm going to get 2 Kaimars in here, and we're just going to be chain resetting everything. Like basically this, but not this team, obviously. I built them all out. I wasted loads of books on Kaimars, and they didn't reset each other. Like, they just didn't do it. I was like, crap. They don't reset each other. I just wasted all my stuff. So yeah, I was pretty sad. Anyway, sorry.
With the fact that it's not a full reset, so they only reduce by 3 cooldown or 3 turns, I think is why they allowed that. But I don't think they intended it to do this.
No, you're getting close to getting close-ish to the 1 key already.
Almost, yeah.
Comes to counter-attacks. So basically, every time, so he's having his 1. Is this a 1-for-1 speed tune, or is it 2-for-1?
2-1.
Must be 2-for-1. Yeah. So you're basically getting 2 attacks before the clan boss hits you, and then every time he hits you, you're getting a retaliation hit near enough every time. So basically, you're getting 3 of these big swings per clan boss turn. Oh man, we've almost hit the 1 key already.
With 2 more hits.
Bam, 1 key. 5 minutes 38, 1 key.
Not bad.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh man, so gross to see. So gross to see. So, are you currently topping the scoreboard here, by the way, in terms of the world record stuff?
As far as total damage, and turns to the cap, things like that. I know Victor's turned his attention to like arena. He's also, I think, number 2 in total damage against Hydra. So I don't think he's revisited this since he hit the cap originally.
Right.
but there's I think 4 total people now that have hit the cap. I think 2.4 billion is the closest to me, something like that.
2.4 billion. Sounds so nuts saying billion as well, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, what sort of numbers do you normally see out of your Brogni before we made these changes?
So I actually just recently had re-geared him into the build that he's in now. And whenever we were doing that or whenever I redid that, I was just making sure like the lethal set and on top of the crushing rend was gonna produce what we were hoping it to be.
Yeah. Sure.
What he was doing, I want to say 350 was the highest. So with our extra stats, we've got a bit higher now. But yeah, I mean, the way it's been, so like building it for like viewers and things like that before, and you try to get 120k out of Brogni to be a good hit.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think that's I think mine was hitting for like 100 to 120, probably more like 100. Yours is hitting like 4 times as much damage as mine could hit. So nuts. Oh my god. Yeah, that's so crazy. Already hitting for 3 million on the Cadaver A1. Like 24 turns in. Man.
Yeah, only 117 more turns to go.
And obviously, like, nobody dies here, so you can't get the extra stuff going on like that. The shields just grow too damn quick. So
right. Yeah, we don't get the stacks on the buffs just because obviously everybody's doing their extension. Or well, Chris is doing his extension. So as soon as anybody would die, the whole thing would fall apart. But because Brogni is just constantly doing his A2, like I said, they don't even get through the first shield.
No.
So if there was a way to somehow get Corpulent in 2 shields, or in a set shield, I should say, without needing somebody in a shield set, or wasting one of his slots for his retaliation, then we could do that and get an extra Guardian set in there.
Yeah. How long has it been the meta to have him in retaliation as well? Because that was not something I'd seen before.
So once they changed, actually, the Yumeko team in itself, because now Brogni's doing the A2 constantly. Before it was Stalwart
you had to stop
and
him from
Defiant.
dying, didn't you? Yeah, that's it. You had to stop him from dying.
Yeah, just to keep the mitigation up there. But now you can exchange some of that mitigation in order for more attempts at counterattacks. So whenever the Yumeko team was built, then putting him in the 4-piece retaliation set with still a Defiant set, because that was out at the time, provided still you only lost 15% mitigation for the chance of counterattacks. Now with the change to retaliation, the extra 10% that you get on a 3-piece set or a 3 set is a little bit better than a little bit of mitigation that you're losing from not getting the Defiant, which is then why I also put like Krisk back in a Guardian set when he wasn't toxic.
When you're testing those type of tweaks, those changes, are you literally letting like a full run going off, like walk around the block or whatever, go walk the dogs, or and see what the damage is at the end, or do you pretty much know by like turn 10, is this an improvement or not?
I track it.
Because these are long runs, right? These are long runs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I track it. I have a spreadsheet, and every 10 turns, calculate what our total damage is, what Corpulent's damage is, based on his per hit, and can gauge it from there.
Yeah. Actually, just Hecker here saying, I wish I could see the value of his shield. I guess to a certain degree, I don't know if you track it or not, but you probably could.
So 4.12.
Somewhat work it out, couldn't you?
Yeah. So it doubled. So. Well, I guess if you take that 4.12 million and divide it by the 30%, because it's 30% of his total shield.
Yeah, so it's basically a 12 million shield.
Right, so 6 million on each.
Bloody hell, he's already hitting for like over 4 mil. It's so ridiculous, honestly. It's such a ridiculous comp. Like, I do wonder, do they ever think this could be possible when they're thinking out game design. Like, there's no way they could have seen the interaction between a Brogni and a Cadaver and thought, I wonder if anyone works this out. It's actually it's the players, isn't it? The players find stuff and they're like, crap, did you know what's going on? Like,
oh, yeah. I think they have the best intentions whenever they're creating new dynamics and things like that, but they don't see all the angles.
No.
And then things like this happen.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. It's also one of the things that makes Raid really fun, I think, because, you know, there's so many different champion designs and champion opportunities, I guess, you know, in their kits. Way more than some of the other games that are similar to this that are released. And it just allows for some fun, like, theory crafting, I guess.
Agreed. It's that's one of the biggest draws for me to this game is the team building and the making all this stuff work. And
yeah. And you said you're in a clan then of friends of yours, right?
Yeah, basically people that we've collected along the way in various video games and things like that.
Yeah.
Just have our own little community. So we started a clan here, and like they played longer than I have. So
right. And have you ever been in a game where, you know, you're as comfortable to spend like you spend in Raid?
Not as much. Granted, I'm more successful now in real life than I was, prior. So that certainly helps. But no, this is definitely, there's more spare cash that has gone into this than anything else, I would say.
Yeah. So I would say back in the day, like I used to play, I played a whole bunch of games like World of Warcraft and stuff, but the first game where I ever really like spent money topping up my account was probably Clash of Clans. And, you know, I'd pay for like upgrading stuff quick and basically boosting my a couple of accounts, but I was basically boosting myself whenever a new town hall came out. But still, like, the money difference is obscene when I think about what I've done with Raid compared to that game. And in that game, I felt like I was spending way too much for playing, you know, a mobile game.
Yeah, always look forward. Never look at how much you spent behind
you. Yeah. For sure. But again, it depends. Whatever you find enjoyable, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's my reasoning when everybody asks, you know, free to players or, you know, other big spenders. It's all about your entertainment value. It's what's it worth to you? To me, I mean, I don't regret it. Don't regret it one bit. So it looks like the poll has completed. What was your guess?
Yeah, so I was guessing. I thought it would be a 15 plus, but I didn't. I don't know what it's actually going to come out as. I'm going to guess the biggest hit he does is 17.5 million. But
so
I've got no idea, honestly.
Can I spoil it, or
spill the
should we
beans?
just
Spill the beans. Yeah. Spill the.
Well, I don't know what it's going to be on this one.
Yeah.
So the highest I've gotten him was while we still used Krisk as the stun target, and he hit 15.98.
15.98. Right. Okay. Oh, actually, so we were probably along the right sort of lines then with the poll. So I literally had no idea where this was going to go. So
yeah. So
15.98. Right, and that's the biggest you've seen any Cadaver hit for, is it? I guess it must be. Yeah.
Yep. So then with the change to making Corpulent the stun target, since obviously now he's taking more damage, he was hitting about 15 even, maybe a little bit less.
Sure.
So I think we should be capping 16.
Yeah, so obviously you've made him the stun target so that he just does an extra hit with his retaliation gear. You're reducing slightly the overall damage he does per hit, but he's just getting more hits in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he's hitting for 1 million less per hit, but hitting, you know, an extra 100 times out of 137 turns, because he has 0 chance to retaliate if he's not the stun target.
Sure. There goes the 6. So we're about a third of the way through this run. Is that right? About 45 minutes generally for
It's about 45 minutes. Yep.
And you don't anymore, like you used to have to try and stop it at a certain point. You can just let it run, can you now?
Oh, so the turn meter limit counter.
Yeah.
The best update of last year by a mile for me because I would literally have to count. So obviously the tune's a 2-1. So every turn of the clan boss, there's 11 turns going towards the turn meter, the 1500 turn limit. So you would count that, and it was nice and even whenever the whole team's alive, but then you're trying to kill people off early. So once somebody dies, then the 2-1 tune breaks. So then some turns they're taking 14 turns, sometimes they're taking 9 turns, things like that. So I would literally have to count it up until 1499 and then manually stop it.
Yeah. So if it hits 1500, the runs, is it a fail?
It ends.
Or
No, it ends. It ends automatically.
And it saves the run.
Yep, it just finishes.
Okay. Yeah. Because back in the day, for those who have not been around that long, and probably won't even know this for a lot of you, but a turn counter pops up when we get to a kind of like basically when you're over 1,000 turns, and a turn is the clan boss taking a turn plus each of your champions taking a turn. Yeah, it's like an interaction basically. And when you didn't used to see the turn counter, so when anyone got close to 1500, sometimes we'd be finishing runs so early because you were fearing that you went over the cap and you didn't want to lose your run. But obviously they've added the counter now, which is much better.
Yeah, tons of help.
Yeah. So we've already done 500 million. This is already smashed, by the way, my best ever attempt at this. I don't have the Yumekos, but when I was building this style of team, it's already smashed my kind of numbers for it.
Yeah, and it ramps up too. So I mean, obviously we started at even at 1 million a hit, so we're getting 3 million per clan boss turn. Right now he's hitting for 7, so we're getting 21 million per clan boss turn. Yeah. Once it gets to 10, we're getting 30 per clan boss turn. So it just goes up.
Do you know methodical as a mastery? So that scales from doing your A1s, yeah? Does that also scale your other abilities, Like if you used to interweave early on some A1s from Brogni and get an extra 10% damage, I guess you just lose too much shieldage, don't you? Just lose too much shield gain. Just wondering if that actually gives you an extra 10% damage through the run.
I mean, that would be quite a few A1s.
Yeah, you'd lose too much shield, wouldn't you?
That's an interesting thought. Could definitely try.
Obviously, back in the day, you didn't used to A2 consistently, right? You'd be going A2, A1, A2. Basically, you're hoping for procs, but again, I think you might end up losing too many of these kind of juicy shield gains. Make it worthwhile. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, early on, you're gonna ramp it up a bit anyway. And doing an A2 versus an A1 isn't going to change the comp at all as far as the mechanics. So you would just have to manual it through 10 Brogni turns.
I mean, outside of doing this stuff, what do you find most enjoyable about Raid nowadays? Is there anything you still kind of push for?
I build teams, so I like teams. So I've been pretty much nonstop. The Shogun's Grove since it came out. Obviously, do a lot of takeovers and stuff on streams and whatnot. So
sure,
just building better grinding mechanisms.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the new Shogun dungeon?
It's a lot easier than I'm sure they had hoped it would be. Granted, it's not as fruitful as like Sand Devil or anything like that because you have less things to update or upgrade, and then you're getting flat stats on pretty much anything except for the crit damage on amulets, and then accuracy or resistance are really the only special pieces of it. So the fact that it's not as difficult.
Yeah, the opposite to that though is that you're more likely to get the thing you want.
That's true
than other areas. But yeah, it's a fair point. But yeah, I think your team, do you run teams with like high blessings?
So some of the best mechanics that I've seen so far is obviously your enemy max HP tactic.
Yeah.
So you don't really need any blessings on that. You build a crit damage tank, preferably as your resetter, so just a Kaimar. And then you bring in, well, Newt's going to be the big one. Granted, he's only going to work on 24. Yes. But between enemy max HP, if you're hitting the cap, you need 10 hits. So Newt's going to bring 3 of them twice, so 6, and then you bring 2 cold hearts. And you've got it covered there. Ninja also is a pretty good damage dealer. So it's not really about bringing the high blessings. It's just killing him fast enough that where it doesn't matter.
So you don't really care, yeah. Yeah, I've seen 2 ways of people doing it, really. Either the way you just mentioned there, or... It's still similar champions, honestly, but people bringing like 4 or 5 star blessing, cold heart, just to keep continuously beat down the stacks. So it's a longer run with people with perhaps less quality champions, but they still do the same job in it.
Yeah, it's also so having the crit damage tank that doesn't hit as much. Like Kaimar's got single hitters on his A1 and A2. And that doesn't hit on his reset, which is what you're going to do the first time anyway. But being able to time a cleanser in there to where once the boss goes a second time and spreads the enfeeble, that the first person to go is just your cleanser, to where you don't have to worry about it except for the crit damage tank, because that one's protected where everybody else is. If that gets out of sorts, that's when it goes south real quick.
Yeah.
But as long as you can maintain that tune, like I was playing with Wither and Mithril are a good pair as far as a good sustained couple.
Okay.
And with Ninja, there's going to be a tune that can do it, but you should be able to 3-man it between Wither, Mithril, and Ninja.
Yeah.
It's just about, I want to say, like 10 or 15 turns from the Shogun. The cleanse falls off, so that the speeds that I have isn't right for a 3-man.
Right.
But then you throw in a Royal Guard and a Cold Heart, and it's a 45-second run.
Yeah. Do you already have... I know you said you were kind of like pushing for him.
Nope. I have him. I have all the epics ready. I just have to actually click the button to fuse him.
Nice.
And then on the free-to-play, I'm well on track, but we're going to need every single one from all the events.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well, honestly. I've got to say, like, I've been doing a fair bit of content on him, but just because I'm trying to make people aware. This, for me, maybe with the exception of Brogni, I think it's the best champion that we've seen in a fusion. Like, I just think it's such a versatile, brilliant champ.
Yeah, just that A3 alone is crazy. Yeah. On a single champ, let alone a single champ, they're just gonna give you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We're up to 9.3 mil on the cadaver here.
You just hit 1 billion damage.
Yeah, 1 bill damage. 24 minutes in. Damn. As I say, back in the day when I first did a video on this with Victor Tez, this would already be better than that full finish run. It shows the stat bloat, doesn't it? It really does. Like, it shows just how much extra push we've been able to build into teams. Obviously, this is a better team as well, but it's kind of crazy. I will say, a couple of people asking here, does Soul Reap work on Clan Boss? Have you tried Soul Reap?
I think I've heard people say that he does show up. So it does work. It doesn't do... It's a cap damage anyway, so it's not like it's going to hit him for 1 billion damage or anything.
No, but I just wondered if it...
I believe it does proc.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it myself, though, as far as there's better blessings to use against the clan boss.
Well, I was wondering, like, you don't have a blessing at all on someone like a Yumeko. If the clan boss is already dead, which means you Soul Reap every time it's off cooldown. Don't know if that works or not. And I also don't know what sort of damage it does, honestly. I never tried it.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm gonna... I mean, I guess I'd have to pull a level 1 to try it. So I've got my arena Yumeko that would take precedence, but if I come across one, I'll try it.
Yeah. Do you push plat and stuff on? I know you said you're not really an arena guy, but do you do like plat pushes and stuff like that?
I have both the plat avatars,
Right.
but reset is either 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. depending on daylight savings for me. So I prefer to be asleep at that point.
Try to have a bit of a sleep at that point, yeah. And actually function when you go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we've done it, but I'm not a normal plat pusher by any means.
Yeah. Just hit 10 million damage per hit on the cadaver. The rare champion. It's so crazy. Oh, man. Hey, Alien in the house. How you doing, mate? It does, like, as I said, when you messaged me the other day, like, do you fancy having a look at this? I thought all of this was over, so it still makes me, like, it's still enjoyable to me to see how far people have pushed this comp and, you know, this idea.
I thought you'd have fun with this one.
I just need to get myself a couple of Yumekos, that's all.
Yeah.
And a few more pluses on my Brogni.
The +4 and the 6-star. It essentially makes him a +8 for the most part.
Yeah.
So if you just get a 6-star awaken, unempowered, is basically the same as getting a +4 on awaken.
Is that the way it works? Right. I think I've got like a +3 or something like that. But... not +3, sorry. I have like a 3-star blessing.
Yeah, so that gives him a little bit of attack. And in that point, you're going to use like Hero's Soul if you're using him specifically for this. Obviously, Brogni is excellent everywhere else, so...
Yeah.
Unless you're pigeonholing him here, you're going to use different blessings. But short of 6-star, you're going to want Hero's Soul, because that's the only one that actually increases the damage of the 8-2.
Oh, right, okay.
Granted, it's only, I think, 1% because it's only one boss, but...
Yeah. So if he's not 6-star, you say Hero Soul's the best blessing.
Right, because that's the the only one that actually affects the size of the hit on the 8-2. Where once it's 6-star, then you want Crushing Rend, because that's going to do it 2 for every hit. But things like Phantom Touch or I guess Phantom Touch would be the damage one, or if you want to try to mitigate damage from him, just if you're building the team fresh, and you want to go like the defense one that I can't think of the name now.
Yeah, the one that this dude's using.
This one's on Brogni, yeah.
Yeah. Kuru, this is the Infinity team. So, I mean, earlier in the stream, we kind of showed through everybody's stats, the way the team kind of works and stuff like that. But this is the current world record team trying to push for a new best ever hit. We've got a good man here, MulletReaver, who has been kind of owning this comp. Or at least, I'd say between you and Victor Tej, you've had this kind of like to-ing and fro-ing of who can make this do the most over the past probably 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Or 18 months, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Victor definitely a huge innovator when it comes to the team. Obviously, the one that first tuned it or built it.
Yeah.
Also, the first one to make the actual double and Yumeko one work, with some help of as far as ideas wise. A bunch of other people in the community that come up with the ideas, but he's definitely the bigger innovator as far as making them work.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of his streams where he was kind of playing around with when Blessings first came out, he was playing around with all sorts of stuff to try and just see what was best. And I mean, he was there, I think he was like streaming for 16 hours or something. It's ridiculous. Like, he just kept going. It was like relentless. And I mean, we can see how long these runs take. Like, he was just like, I guess like you do with your spreadsheet, like marking down different levels of damage at different points. And yeah, I mean, certainly a dedication, right? It's certainly a dedication.
Absolutely. That's what, when everybody says that they want to build this team, my first advice of building the Infinity team is don't.
Yeah. Well, I actually changed out of mine because in the end, I wanted my best like damage gear to start going back on my arena team. and obviously these runs are super long and stuff like that. So I actually changed back to just an unkillable team, like a Demitha team, so I could reclaim my gear really. Because unless you're going for your record or world records and stuff, it's just for me that's where the fun is, when I'm trying to push the best damage I've ever done. But when it's just when it's just letting it run every day, well, I'd rather have my gear for my arena guys.
Yeah, I do. This is my daily driver. In fact, this is the clan boss team that I run the whole time.
Is it? Yeah.
However, I've got a couple of dupes. So besides the gear that they're using, the champions, I've got some copies of to make use of them elsewhere.
Yeah. And is Brogni? Would you say is in your account's best gear? Like, have you got arena dudes that are up there like he is?
As far as with Brogni, he's limited to the speeds. So he is in the absolute best gear that I have that gets him in the speed that I need him to be.
Yeah.
Everybody else, like my next best damage dealer is Jorgen, and
right.
Jorgen's 273 speed right now. So he needs different gear.
Yeah. That's fast, man.
Once I gotta wait to fuse my lethal gear just to see if I get any upgrades, but a couple of speed glyphs, he'll be 300 speed. And
what sort of crit damage do you have on him for that speed?
7.6k attack and 300 crit rate or crit damage.
What? Bloody hell! People think my gear is crazy. Like when I see accounts like this, I'm just like, I'm nowhere near the level of this stuff. Man. 12 million hits coming in from Cadaver. Ronald, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Thanks for that. Thank you for showing us, he says. No worries.
So just for some context, at turn 100 on my best run before, we were at 1.62 billion.
Wow.
So we are 200 million over a turn earlier.
And scaling, that's the thing. Like, it should just continue scaling up, right? Because of the way this team works. So if you're hitting above your kind of normal numbers now, the fact that this just continues to scale should almost guarantee it. Almost guarantee a world record, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely be there. I think we're about 1 million per hit for for Corpulent as well.
And again, for those who have not seen this before, we've got like the turn count limit now popping up. So you can see when we get to this 1500 turns, the clan boss just ends. You can't continue past that. That's like the limit of how many turns you can do, which is why some of these builds are built around, or some of these teams, were built around trying to do the maximum damage in the time that you've got. Because actually, I wonder if your team could ever die. I guess it can't. Like if the clan boss carried on, I think this team just goes in literally into infinity. Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they don't even get through the first shield.
Yeah.
On this,
whereas
so he would have to
when
ramp
I built
up.
this, when I built this team, not this team, so I didn't have the Yumekos. I built the team that had a Hellborn Sprite and a Lanikis. I saw someone ask earlier as well, why the Hellborn Sprite? Well, Hellborn gives you weaker, so gives you extra damage for your Brogni, basically. Like
the
all
only
of this
3 turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3-turn buff extender.
That's it, buff extender. Because all of this is made by Brogni. Like, obviously the other pieces are required, but Brogni increasing the value of your shields is what's doing the crazy work. So the stronger your Brogni, and this is the thing I learned when I was doing this type of build, the stronger your Brogni is, the better you do. Like the other pieces are important because you need them, but their builds are less important than Brogni's. 2 billion damage. Done.
So it's going to get fun here. So once we hit the cap, so again, the cap being that total damage counter right there, that is going to stop at 2.147 billion. And it's not going to move from there. So we're going to be in the dark after that. We can just look at how much damage Corpulent is doing. However, the fastest I've reached the cap prior was turn 1243. And it looks like we're going to be...
We're almost there.
About 40 or 50 turns faster than that.
Yeah. And so this cap that we talked about here that pops up, this is like it's some sort of computing cap, is it? It's some sort of...
Yeah, it's basically in the computer world, like everything that you see is some sort of data type. Like the string, the total damage is a string. It's a combination of numbers and letters. That number, see now we've hit it. That's an integer. So there's tiny ints, there's big ints, there's things like that, and that's just the amount of space allocated to that data type within the system itself.
Right.
In the case of this is an integer, and the highest number an integer can be because it's that it's just that 2.147. It could be negative 2.147 as well, but
yeah,
that's it. So if they just change the data type of the counter.
That's what I was going to say. It's not something they could just adjust and then it would keep going. I guess it's irrelevant. There's like two dudes doing it, but
yeah, I don't know that they care, but they absolutely can, and they have in fact, because Hydra isn't capped.
Right.
The individual champion scores aren't capped either. So yeah, it's just something they put in there way back in the day whenever they conceived of it, and
bearing in mind,
never looked back.
They didn't see people really hitting for more than 30 million back in the day. Now we've hit the cap of 2.14 billion, but we're still gaining damage. This is what I didn't realize. I thought that was it. I thought once people had hit this cap, they could never do better than this. And actually, one of the things that you were telling me is the numbers still continue to gain. So we're still going to see what the final damage number is at the end of the run. But obviously, it's just not moving this counter anymore.
Yep, just takes our own calculator.
Yeah. Nice. And we still got another like 280 turn count, which is basically that's interactions. Every time someone does something, you see that it moves up every time someone has a turn. So in the ideal world, does a counterattack count as a turn? Doesn't, does it?
It does not. No.
So in an ideal world, at this point, you really just want Corpulent Cadaver going on his own. But you can't make that happen because everyone's got a shield, which is literally millions and millions of health points big. And the clan boss just can't cope with it. It's literally crying. Like, what are you people?
Yeah, so with the traditional team, that is the strategy, is to die and get everybody to die early. So you build the stacks up on the buffs as high as you can, and then get them to die at the appropriate time so that those stacks last to the end of the fight. But then it just becomes Corpulent and Clan Boss going back and forth at each other at the end. That's what you want. In this one, you can't, because you're not increasing the size of the stacks on any of the buffs. So if anybody died, it would just fail immediately because all the buffs would fall off everybody. But
I see. Yeah,
you can't get there anyway, just because the fact that the clan boss can't hit hard enough to get through.
Because I guess actually, like, I thought I'd see buffs at a really high level, but they're not. They're literally just being increased enough, obviously, because I guess Chris is not taking more
just
turns
Chris
than anyone else.
every time. Yep.
Yeah. Very clever, actually. Very clever adaptation of what was already an insane team, bringing in the double Yumeko like that.
Yeah, Yumekos, like I said, have been terrorizing all content of the game. You can see Galen's got, I think, 2.6 billion or so on like normal Hydra or hard Hydra.
Right, okay.
You've got pretty much any of the dungeons can be solved with Yumeko.
Yeah. So what are we at there? 14.5 million damage per swing on this Corpulent Cadaver so far.
It's like another 200 turns.
Pretty nuts. As I said earlier, if people have just joined the stream and don't know what's going on, this is a world record attempt for the most ever damage against Clan Boss. We've got MulletReaver here who's leading the way. He does have his own YouTube channel. Go and check it out, which I'm just pinging here. But yeah, go and drop him a sub. Go and check out his content after the stream. But this is it's obscene, honestly. I thought we were done with it. I thought we were done with the Clan Boss challenge, but it turns out it's still been going on, and it's been getting even more crazy in the meantime. I guess there's also a little bit of RNG going on as to whether you can decrease defense on consistently.
Yeah, there is some RNG still in it, which would be the decreased defense, since Krisk is no longer the constant or the stun target, so it's not up all the time. There's also some range within the damage that Brogni does. So obviously, if you get higher rolls on his damage, you're going to do a little bit better. and then whether you actually get the counterattacks from Corpulent on the stun hits.
Yeah.
So there is some, but it's not nearly as much as before, to where with like the traditional team, you could get 800 million one run and 100 or 1.9 billion the next run, just based on some silly things.
Do you have, I can't remember Chris Masteries, do you have the support tree to try and pop decreased defense on a 2-turn?
Yes.
Do you? Someone's asking here, is it possible that Chris could be replaced by Grazur? The other
No, Chris gets ally protection.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
the ally
Grazur
is just sucking up loads of the damage.
Yeah, Grazur does the buff extension, so he could be used like in the traditional team. You could use him as one of the buff extenders. However, Krisk is still needed for that ally protection and the increased speed for that.
Yeah, in effect, the 2 Yumeko spots can be interchanged or just changed up with 2 champions that are doing a 3-turn buff extend. But there's more and more of them now, right? But generally, back in the day, it was Hellborn Sprite because she had a weaken, and Lanakis, mainly because Lanakis was bringing you other buffs, like increased crit rate and stuff like that. So it's making it easier to get Brogni's stats high. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
now we got more.
Brogni and Cadaver have to be in.
Yeah, because Krisk is the only 3-turn buff extender with the ally protection. Of course, he also brings the decreased attack and decreased defense and his passive and things like that. So just a bunch of stuff that anybody else doesn't bring. Obviously, Brogni's the only one that can actually do what he does, and Corp's the only one that can do what he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
other
options.
Have you looked at the epic? There's a Doom Tower epic that also does a shield extension or shield growth. So it would only be free. I can't remember which champion is now, but there's an epic which also extends the value of a shield from like normal Doom Tower.
I wasn't aware.
Crack off, yeah, that's it. Crack off. I don't know.
I have them. I was about to go log into my account. Be bad.
Yeah, you're gonna ruin the run. Yeah, Crack off is the champion. I don't know to what extent this champion. I don't have him. I'm just about to get Dark Kale. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what sort of difference they make to the Brogni stuff. I'd imagine it's nowhere near as good as Brogni's, obviously, but it'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was that. I can't say I've ever seen anybody use them.
No.
Or her.
Oh, we're almost at 16 million on the Cadaver swing here. Almost at the 60 million with, 80 turns to go. Damn. And there it is. 16 mil per swing.
That's the highest I've ever seen him do.
Damn. So gross, man.
All right, so we're going to get final guesses to what the total damage is?
Total damage, yeah. And what did we have? We had like 300 turns, didn't we? Oh, man. Got no idea. What sort of numbers are the world records at the minute?
My highest is 3,065,000,000.
So I guess I'm going to go in. I'm going to go over 3.2 billion. What do you think it's going to be?
The fact that we were already
I bet you just got this mapped out in your head. You're literally like, if I'm there, then I know we're going to be about this.
I'm going to say 3.35.
335.
So we're going to add about 300 million to the current record. I think. It's going to be between 2 and 3 million, but yeah, or 2 and 300 million.
Yeah. So in your head, this is definitely the world record now, as it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
We could probably end it now, and it's still
the
record.
That's crazy. Nearly 16.5 million per hit. And he counterattacks almost every single time. Like, it's such a crazy team.
I don't
Such
think
a
he's going to
crazy
make
thing.
17.
Yeah, well, we get to 17. I guess if you wanted to manipulate that, you could literally just push Chris back to being the stun target, and you would get bigger hits from him. But like you say, don't do as much damage.
Yeah. Yeah, we could just delay Chris A3.
That's nearly it. We almost hit the turn count.
And it takes a solid 10 to 15 seconds for it to think.
It's like, should we let it through or not?
Trying to tally it all up. I think
That's
Corpulent
it.
himself will hit 3 billion.
End of the run. The turn limit reached, and it thinks we've done 2147, but actually,
So Corpulent
Cadaver on his own,
3.24.
3240.
All right, means I'm wrong. You did way
Wow.
more than that.
Wow. Man, we need a count.
$110 and a corp.
Okay.
Yumeko's both with
What
20s.
we got here?
Is
42822 plus 3240 883565 plus Rogney done a clean 110 mil on his own. Yumeko 1, only 20 million. Do you even raid Yumeko? Come on. Letting the team down. And then Yumeko 2, 22 mil. 7464. So I make that 3437 676 441. Over 3.4 billion damage as the new world record.
Not bad.
Congrats, dude. Oh, man. That's so nuts. That's so nuts. So you've added
million?
what? 250 mil? Just by those arena changes.
350 mil
350 mil.
or so, yeah.
Well, is that just from the arena changes we did there, or is it also some of the enhancing
The accessory
accessory stuff? Yeah.
ascensions.
So you've added 10%. 10% more damage from that stat blow.
Yeah.
That's madness, right? Another 10% on the world record from the new change. Crazy stuff. Oh, man. I guess for those people that are just coming late, we'll show you these builds. And this is the main attraction, right? The Broccoli build's the main attraction.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who just does all of this stuff. So... Oh, it's not even showing the area bonuses yet. Hold on. Wow.
There
Like
we
5
go.
points. Bearing in mind, this guy's got a base attack of 782. Because when you look at this, 5.6, you're like, oh, that attack's not that high. He's got a base of 782. It's so high.
I get that a
So
lot. They're
high.
like, shouldn't you add more attack than crit damage? I was like, well, if you go with the efficiency, so
Yeah.
obviously, total attack divided by your base attack compared to your crit damage. If we did that, I would need like 700% crit damage.
Yeah, you need a
in
lot
order
more
for it to be
crit damage,
efficient.
don't you? Yeah, yeah. Oh, man. So crazy. Yeah, so Brogney is stacked. And he's doing that in lethal gear. Lethal. And this is one of the changes which I didn't see come in. Also got the crit damage mastery.
Nice.
Man. We're crushing Rend as the blessing here. We've then got the Krisk.
You can probably just go recently used.
Oh, yeah. Krisk got cruelty, so stacking up those cruelty, drop defense. He's in Guardian with some chances to counterattack as well. Got War Master as main mastery. Also got the ability, or trying to extend that decreased defense. And then we got 285 speed, 228 crit damage, not bad. 5.3k defense.
Well, he gets more with the area bonus too. Everybody got the 12%.
Of course, yeah.
Ignore defense.
And the extra 12% ignore defense, yeah. Massive. We've got the 2 Yumekos. So one in a Guardian set. The other one in a shield set to give us that initial shield. And you've got
for that
one
second shield on Brock or Corpulent.
Say that again, sorry.
The shield set to just give the second shield for Corpulent.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like the masteries here play a part. So you've got Selfless Defender and Bulwark basically taking damage away from Corpulent Cadaver so that he continuously stacks as much shield as possible. Like the less damage he takes, the more shield he's gaining or keeping, I guess.
Yeah, and one thing with Bulwark that confuses a lot of people is Bulwark actually, the damage for Bulwark applies directly to HP. So, a common question I get is, why do I have giant shields but somebody dies? Typically it's Hellborn. It's because she doesn't have high enough HP, so she gets crit and then dies because that's usually her role. So whoever's using Bulwark, you need some HP on.
So it doesn't see the shield at all, is that what you mean?
Right, the Bulwark damage, yeah. It ignores the shield, goes straight to HP.
And there's no point in having more than one person with this because it will only affect only one person, the highest in your turn order, will actually use this. So if you had 3 people with Bulwark, complete waste of time.
Correct.
Same with Selfless Defender. Same for Arena, by the way. If you're doing that, there's no point in having more than one. Whereas the second one is basically built for a bit more for damage. She's got an extra couple of million. That's actually... It's not a lot, is it? Extra couple of million damage out of a full run, having War Master versus not having it.
Well, it's a damage build with War Master versus Smite, basically.
Versus Smite. Okay, yeah, makes sense. And then the last one, then the main dude with all the big slaps, Corpulent Cadaver, and again, like he doesn't. His build is kind of silly because he doesn't need to be built for damage because all of his damage it literally just comes from his shield. So his build looks a bit of a joke. His build is all about just trying to mitigate damage, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, just as much defense as you can possibly get on it.
Yeah. But you've done 6-piece retaliation, so he just keeps hitting, and 3 lots of revenge accessories, and then War Master. Damn, dude. Thank you for coming on and sharing that. It's so cool. Such a cool team.
Absolutely. I thought you'd enjoy that one.
Yeah. Just, like, it's unreal to me. Like, it's come so far since I last saw a version of it. You know, to the point where it's literally doing over 1 billion more damage than I ever thought it was going to be doing. So, yeah. Very cool, man. I guess just lastly, you know, I know that you've got a YouTube channel, but you also stream, right? So how often do you do that? You know, streaming and what have you?
I stream about 3 days a week on Twitch still. I do want to test the waters, streaming at least 1 day a week on YouTube at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we stream. We get a couple YouTube videos out a week. Part-time jobs on part-time jobs.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as I said earlier, like go and check out MulletReaver's YouTube channel. I'm pinging it here. And also, Mullet, ping your Twitch as well in stream. And then if you want to check out some of his live stuff, as he said, streams 3 times a week. Quite often you do things like takeovers and account help, do you, on your streams? Or team building, that type of thing?
Yeah, we do mainly takeovers and things like that, unless trying to push the record or something. We do that on occasion as well. Here's
awesome.
the Twitch.
Well, I guess I'll let you get on with your day, but appreciate you coming on and showing it, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was fun.
Yeah, no worries. Well, guys, we're going to end the stream there. MulletReaver has just smacked the clan boss into the next century with a clean 3.4 billion damage. Thanks for watching the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, catch you soon.